I was even water fasting in the Philippines.
Oh, that must be hard because the food's amazing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I always skip breakfast whenever I go out and meet someone. Whenever they eat is when I'd usually eat,
Yeah.
and it'd be the only time I eat.
I think I skipped
Just
a
'cause
lot
I
of
know-
breakfast the last time I was there, just because I
Yeah.
had so much shit to do and I just didn't have the time to.
Yeah. I noticed I was putting on weight too because I was just drinking a lot. Like one of the seasons, I can't remember which one. I was like, "Fuck, I'm noticing it put a cane in the face." So I'm like, "Fuck, I need to start fasting again."
I think I put a lot of weight on when I went to Florida once because we had it's like an all-you-can-eat buffet for breakfast, so you just pile your plates up, several plates in fact, and we had the donuts, the Krispy Kreme donuts, where they were like, the price comparison. I don't know what it's like in Australia, but like in the UK, like £15 for 12 or 6 or something. It's really expensive, but it was like more than half price in America. I was like, well, I'll get a box of these then, shall I?
Yeah.
And
they are quite expensive.
Oh, and they're so good. I must have put on loads of weight in my mind. I was going, well, we're walking around all the Disney parks, doing all Universal Studios, doing all that kind of usual stuff, walking it all off. Surely not a chance. Looking back on it, yes, I did a lot of walking, but maybe all that walking I did in one day maybe equated just to like half a donut. It's just not enough. I think people lose sight of, calories to exercise or food intake to calorie burn. I think people don't quite understand that.
That's funny because I noticed, speaking of like weight, I've noticed a lot of people that were once, real fit in high school are the ones that have put on weight, and the ones that were big are the ones who have lost all the weight. Have you noticed that with people you went to school with?
I think so. There's one guy I know makes me laugh actually because he actually works for the army and he's been doing that since he's left school, I think. So it's quite a number of years. And I met up with him one night last year or two, and I was like thinking he'd be quite hench.
Yeah.
And I looked at him and I was like, "What happened to you? You fat fucker." And I'll tell you what it is. My logic is that they just drink and they get smashed. So his weight is all beer. He could pack a few beers away, to be fair to him, but it's all beer. If you just saw an army of this guy, you just laugh at him. The other side of it, he's a good sniper. I'll give him that.
Oh yeah.
He had some stories to tell. I mean, tragic story. I mean, the stuff he's had to do and see. I mean, it's interesting for me because, how many people do you know who are in the army, and you don't get to ask these really, maybe you should have asked the questions, but I'm so curious as to what it's like that you only ever see it depicted in films. So I was like, so, usual questions. Have you killed anyone? In fairness, I mean, look, I probably shouldn't have asked the questions. And I think a lot of soldiers do suffer from a lot of post-traumatic stress. So maybe asking questions isn't so much the greatest thing in the world. But I was just really curious, and there's some stories he told me. I was like, yeah, that's not great.
Speaking of high school, I still kind of hope for like a high school reunion, just because I feel like, I'm at a certain place where I'm like, I'm the fucking man now. Well, at least up here anyway. And, I noticed like a lot of my friends have like kind of put on. I'm like, I'm looking pretty decent in comparison. Like, I just want to experience that.
That was exactly my mindset as well. And annoyingly, the guy I just referred to, that was my high school reunion. It was just me and this guy. Oh, it was? Again, I'm a nice guy. I like to do the best I can and, help people out and do, that's just who I am. And it's a friend of mine. There's a group going around on Facebook sharing like old high school photos of it, like everyone in different classes and stuff. And it was a nice little time to reminisce and stuff. And they were like, we're coming up to, I think it was like 10 years, something like 10-year anniversary. Well, was it 10 years? Whatever it was, whatever anniversary it would have been. I think it's just the fact that we're all turning 30 was probably the anniversary anyway. I was like, yeah, it's been a while since we all saw each other. We'll organise something. And one person like suggested doing a reunion. And I was like, that's actually a really good idea. And then they fell pregnant, so couldn't do any of the other stuff because they wouldn't have been able to go anyway. I was like, okay, well, I'll do it. So I set up this Facebook group, for the reunion. Invited everyone from the class and everything. Got loads of people say, yeah, they'll turn up. And then the day of the event, me and this one guy turned up and no other person did.
Oh, that kind of sounds like my one actually. Because there was a Facebook group and everything, and people were trying to get it to happen, and in the end, it just never happened. And I would have flew back for it too if I knew there was going to be a lot of people there. Yeah. But yeah, it's just people just can't commit.
And it annoyed me because then it just felt like, is it because of me? If I'm going to be there, did no one like me? Oh, I don't want to see that guy. And I was like, I felt really annoyed about it that no one turned up. Well, this one guy turned up. In fairness, he drove all the way up from Southampton, I think. So it's like a 2.5, 3 hour drive away. So he drove all the way up from his army. He had the night off on leave to come for this. Another guy did turn up, in fairness. He was working at the time. He was a bouncer. So he came off.
Oh, yeah.
He had a break. So he came down for like half an hour and then went back to work. Otherwise, it's just me and this one guy. We had a good catch up, mine, but I was like, everyone else, I wanted just nut everyone in the face. I was like, you couldn't even give yourself like an hour, 5 minutes just to say hello.
Yeah,
most of you live local, you cheeky bastards.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They probably live local as well, and they still didn't go.
So I just couldn't believe it. I was really annoyed, and I was like, you know what, next time, if anyone ever organises a reunion again, I'm not going to go, and I hope everyone...
But wouldn't that be bad if you're the one who doesn't go and everyone else ended up going?
I'll just set fire to the venue.
I was going to say, imagine that. That would have been good, actually, because that would, in your mind, probably clarify what you've just said.
I mean, they've not bothered with me all these years, so why do I give a shit? Honestly, they can all go to hell. Some of my best friends, like literally, even through college, I didn't go to college with them, but we stayed in touch, you know, all these years, and they've moved down south somewhere, so they're like 3 hours away as well. And everyone's got their own little lives now, a lot of family, or got a little marriage going on here, little house over here in the country, little bit over there. Yeah, can't be asked any of you now. Screw you.